Hello everyone and welcome to the third DevBlog of YouWillDie, the zombie game that will put you in the game. That's me. In today's DevBlog we're going to look at a couple advancements. The first being the weather system. I've hooked into Ultra Dynamic Sky. This is one of the very first things I purchased on the marketplace for Unreal Engine. It is the gold standard for open world weather systems. Incredibly customizable. It looks great, it runs great, and really happy to use it. It's got a lot of great features right out of the box, like snow accumulation, rain accumulation. So one of the first things I did was added footpaths for snow, which is looking good. Really good. I added to many materials the ability for snow accumulation on the material itself. And the way that the body temperature works in my system is that there are body zones. There's the head, there's the torso, there's the legs, there's the hands, and then there's the feet. So gear items can be only applied to a particular body zone and affect the insulation of that body zone. Each one is weighted differently to how much it affects the overall body temperature. So the better the insulation. If you get too hot, there are modifiers. If you get too cold, there are modifiers. So adding gear to each body zone will help maintain and regulate temperature for your character. And wearing the right gear during the right time of year will be very important as you try to maintain a comfortable temperature for your character. I've set up my system where I can create a variety of shirts from one mesh with different fabric types to allow for a large variety of items. Next, I added a wetness to the objects that are on the ground. When they spawn, they first determine if they're inside or outside. If they're outside, and if they're a certain material like cloth or paper, then they will start to accumulate wetness. You can see on the top right of the pickup interaction, there's a icon to show that it's just a little wet. As it goes on, oh, now it's a little wet now. As the rain continues to go on, these are wet because they have different cloth property. This one does not get wet because it's a piece of glass. So you can see the galoshes here with the rubber take in water at a different rate than the others. As we can see, items that are inside, you can see it's raining outside and it's not wet because the pickup knows that it's indoors. Each wearable item has an insulation curve where it peaks at its effectiveness at that degrees. For example, for these boots, between 50 and 60 degrees, it's most effective. And as an item gets more wet, what it does is it lowers the effectiveness of the insulation. Next, we're going to demonstrate the fire system. I have a Molotov cocktail, which I can pick up in my hand, and it's currently now lit. Each one of these item pickups has a different physical material. For example, like a cloth or leather or rubber, wood, and so each of them is going to have their own ignition properties. And so what's going to happen is when I throw this item, this Molotov cocktail, it's going to spark a fire object. Every single one of these items has its own temperature value, and if it's inside of the fire area, it will raise the temperature. Once the temperature gets to a certain point, it'll start to giving damage, applying damage to the item. And it could be to a character or to a zombie as well. Anything that has this flammable component, it can be damaged by fire, such as the trees or a building, fort, crates, things like that. And once the object's temperature reaches a certain point, it's going to start applying damage. I don't have any visual representation of the damage yet, but then there'll be another threshold of a higher temperature, like let's say 500 degrees. Once the item gets to be 500 degrees, then it'll ignite and create its own fire. And we'll see that now as I throw the Molotov cocktail. Okay, so we've created the fire area. Anything in the area is going to start getting fire damage. Oh, and there we go. So now 2 items have been caught fire and have started their own fire area as well. And the fire area, as the fire decays over time, so does the fire area as the fire goes out. Cool. Let's do that again, this time with a tree. Okay, so I smacked the tree. The Molotov cocktail hit the tree, and now the tree is going to catch fire. Look at that. And then other trees that are within the area will then catch fire, and so on and so on and so on. And if you think of the implications, we can have forest fires, fires that could tear down entire neighborhoods, effectively changing how the map looks. I really do think this is going to be a really cool feature to the game. Okay, let's go ahead and hit a player. Hopefully I got the tree as well. Okay, so you can see there's a light. The VFX doesn't last that long. Okay, so the player has caught fire. You can see the light has spawned. The visual effects didn't spawn for some reason. But, oh no, the visual effect did. You can kind of see it. I'm sorry, yeah, it is there. It's just not very good. I'm not very good at visual effects yet. But you can see like little puffs of fire around the player. And there we go, he's dead. With these additions, they'll help me lean more into the survival aspect of the survival game, so they are pretty big steps. Up next will be a much needing retooling of the crafting system. The campfire kits, for example. We'll place the campfire kit here. It's just missing some paper, which I don't have at the moment. Adding a fire component to the campfire. Adding more craftable items. The AI is still being worked on by the contractor. It's coming along great from what I hear. Hopefully I'll have an update on that soon. Thanks for watching and for your interest, and I will see you next time.